So, hello everyone. Good morning to all of you. I, Professor Hiren Anandwani, on behalf of Dr. Subhash Technical Campus, heartily invite all of you on today's 5 days web series on web designing for the beginners. It gives me very immense pleasure to introduce very much young, dynamic, and intelligent personality, Mr. Akash Padia. Akash sir is a founder and CEO of Akash Technolabs based in Ahmedabad. Sir has more than 11 years of experience in IT industry. Apart from this, sir is an expert trainer. Sir has conducted more than 70 webinars on 15 different technologies and have trained more than 5,000 students across the country. So we are very much fortunate to have Akash sir for the next 5 days with us for conducting this session. So, with this brief introduction, I would like to invite Mr. Akash sir to start this session. So, over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Iren sir, for the lovely introduction. Hi, good morning, everyone. Hope you are safe at your place, right? So, as you know, we have a 5 days web series on the web designing, right? So, आप लोग जानते होंगे ये 5 days web designing जो series है उसमें क्या करना है. So, without wasting much your time, let's get started with the basics of the web designing. Why web designing is very important nowadays, I hope. So, let me share the screen. Just a second. Okay. I hope my screen is visible. Okay. So, first of all, आप काफी सारे स्टूडेंट्स होंगे, काफी सारे एक्सपर्ट्स है, प्रोफेशनल्स है, डेवलपर्स है, तो सबको पता ही होगा वेब डिजाइनिंग. व्हाट इज वेब डिजाइनिंग, राइट? So let's say if we talk about the web designing, first of all, HTML will comes in your mind, right? So web designing means what? Why web designing is very popular nowadays in the market, right? ये सारे क्वेश्चंस का हम लोग यहाँ पे 5 दिन में पूरा एक डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन करने वाले. सो एज यू नो वेरी वेल, जो 5 days ये वेबिनार है, राइट? वेब सीरीज है, एक्चुअली वेबिनार तो नहीं बोल सकते, ये क्या है, एक वेब सीरीज है. सो लेट्स से सबसे पहले हम बात करेंगे. Do you know what is web designing? You can write in the chat section. Have you worked on the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap, and WordPress, right? So in 5 days, we will cover HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, then Bootstrap, and WordPress, right? So I will try to cover JS part because we have to focus on the jQuery rather than the JS. Because jQuery आजकल आपके डिमांड्स आप देखोगे तो बहुत सारी डिमांड्स हैं. And one more thing, nowadays Angular, right? Angular is there, React.js and Vue.js is also there. So we have a different front-end framework right now. Okay, so let's say if we talk about the HTML, you know very well what is HTML. With the help of HTML, we can at least build the website structure. If you want to put some colors or designing, then we have to focus on the CSS. And let's say if you want to do some arithmetic operation or maybe some validation or user interaction. For an example, if you click on the particular button, then it will display some pop-up, right? So for that, either you can use JS or jQuery. And the most important thing nowadays, everyone facing this problem, my website not looks good in the mobile, right? Because the mobile is not responsive. Now, what do you mean by the responsive? So for responsive, you have to focus on the Bootstrap, that is a CSS framework, right? And nowadays also people need their website in a quick way. Let's say if I need a website, so you know very well, first we have to define the structure, then we have to design the layouts, then we have to add some jQuery plugins, and then we have to focus on the Bootstrap. But with the help of WordPress, you can create your website in 20 minutes, right? Without wasting your much time. No need to learn these things. But yes, if you want to become a master in the web designing, make sure you know the basics of HTML, CSS, JS, jQuery, and Bootstrap. Okay. So today we will discuss about the HTML. Then tomorrow there will be a CSS part, and then jQuery, JavaScript. Then 4th day we will discuss about the Bootstrap, and 5th day we will discuss for the WordPress. So at the end you will get a website in WordPress, in HTML, you will get at least 2 websites, right? Okay, I hope you are watching this webinar and everything is going smooth, right? Okay, so let's get started with the next topic for today's topic. Okay, so let's talk about the web designing. Nowadays we have different terms in the IT. Let's say if we talk about the IT, then first part will be a web designing. Sorry, it's not web designing, it's a web designing. Then the next topic will be a web development, right? Then sorry, okay, web designing, web development, then graphic designing. Graphic designing is also there. Then next, if we talk about the mobile app developer and UI UX, I think so you know the basics of user interface and user experience. But right now we are focusing on the web designing, right? So let's say if we talk about the web development, first of all, you need a basic knowledge of the web designing, right? Graphic designing is for what? Let's say if you want to add some images or maybe some sliders image in your website, for that you need a basic knowledge of graphic designing, such as a Photoshop or Illustrator. If you don't want to go with the Photoshop, don't worry. Nowadays we have a various tools like a Canva, right? So without any knowledge of Photoshop, you can design your images, right? So UI UX, there will be a different prototype websites are there, right? So you can simply follow that website. And mobile app developer. So let's say if someone is creating a mobile application, so first of all they need a backend, right? Now what is backend? Backend, we can say it's an admin panel from which admin can enter some data, right? So admin can enter some data in the application. So today we will discuss about the web designing. Okay, so if we talk about the web designing, so first we have to focus on the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or maybe Ajax, right? And if we talk about the web developer, so web developer ke liye, you know very well, PHP, MySQL, ASP.NET, Java. There are so many technologies are there. Nowadays we have Angular, Node, React, Python, Django, etc. So what is next? So next is, what is web designing actually? If you are a beginner, right? If you are a beginner and you are 10th standard student or maybe 12th standard students, so this will be a very new term for you. So web design is the process of creating a website. It encompasses several different aspects, including web page layout, content production, and graphic designing. So let's say if you start learning web designing, then you have to focus on the different aspect of the layouts, right? How to create a web page, how to add some graphics in my website, and many more things are there. Okay, so let's say there are some elements of the web designing. Let's say if the first element will be a layout. So first of all, you have to define the layout, how the layout will be looked in my website, right? So first of all, we have to define the layout. We have to select the colors. We have to select the various graphics and the font and content. So let's say if we talk about the various platforms, you can simply search website mockup. So you will get lots of mockups, right? If you search on the Google, I love the website. The website name is freepik.com. So from the Freepik, you will get various layout from the internet, right? At least you can take a idea from the this website. Okay, and the Pinterest is also there. You can also search on the Pinterest, so you will get a better idea, right? So now next is what? Let's say if we talk about the colors. So gradient colors, you know very well, or maybe website colors combinations or matching. You can write any keyword in the Google and you will get lots of website from the Google, right? So this is a colors.co, right? This is one of the another website. You can define your colors, but make sure whenever you are selecting a colors, make sure there will be a meaning of that color. Let's say if you are creating a website, you know by default most of the website having a blue color, right? If you talk about the Facebook, if we talk about the Hike, and many more websites or many more big platforms are there, they are using a blue color. Here you can also use, you can see that this website is also using the blue color, and I also love the blue color if I'm creating a website. So you can see I love the blue color and red color. I love this color. I know red is not good, but it's okay. I love this color, right? So you can get various color combination from the internet, and that will be a very helpful to you. Okay. So now what is next? So next is, let's say if we talk about the graphics. For an example, let's say I need some graphics. So you can simply visit the website, that is a freepeak.com. You can simply, let's say if we are building an e-commerce website for the fruits and vegetable, right? So here you can simply search fruits and vegetables, then you will get lots of images, right? If you search the same keyword in the Google, then there will be a different output, right? So you can see these are the images that you can download and you can customize as per your own requirement. Okay. So let's say if we talk about the next element, that is a font, right? So Google font is based website. Let's say if I search Google font, so here you can see we have different fonts. Let's say if I type something, Akash Padilla, right? So you can see which one is your favorite font. Just comment in the chat section. I love which one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know. Yeah, this one is good, right? So simply you can just click on this font and you can implement this font in your website, right? So here you can increase the size, you can decrease the size. You can see we have a various size, 300, 400, 500, bold, italic, underline, right? So simply you can download this font family and you can use in your website and also in your computer, right? So these are the basic element that you have to first focus on the elements, right? So again, rewind me this: layout, colors, then graphics, fonts, and content. The content, don't copy any content from the someone's website if you are doing the same, right? Let's say if you are copying some content from someone's website, then Google will not display your website in the search engine. So never try to copy content from someone's website, right? I highly recommend, if you are not good in a content, then you can simply write in the Google content writer in Ahmedabad or maybe in your city, right? So you will get lots of content writer and you can define your content. Let's say if someone is let's say if I open my website, that is akashtechnolabs.com, right? So here you can see this is my content. So if I copy this content, if I search on the Google, if I paste this, so you can see this is Akash Technolab, right? So here you can see the learnpeak.in is also copied the same content, right? So in Akash Info, that content is copied. Unicorn Technolabs, you can see this websites, right? So let's say if you want to check whether my content is copied or not, simply you can select any lines and you can search on the Google and you will get your output. Okay. I hope everything is going good. Yes or no? Okay. Okay. I can see there is one comment in the, just a second. So talk about the Google font. Yeah. Let's say if we talk about the Google font, so let's say if you need any font in your website, so simply you can search on Google font. Let's say if we talk about the font, right? So first of all, you have to download this font and then you have to implement in your website. It is a time-consuming process, right? So without wasting your time, what we can do, we can simply write the content over here and you can select your font, right? So that's it. I hope you are getting this point. Okay. So what is next? So next, let's back to your PPT. So if we talk about the web designing, then there will be a different tools, right? If you want to start your career as a web designer, we have to focus on the different technologies. The first one is a HTML, then second one is a CSS, then JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap, WordPress, and JavaScript framework, right? So these are the different tools. We can say it's a technology, it's not a tools, right? So you can simply learn this tool and you can start your career as a web designer, right? So let's say if we talk about the web designing, so let's say you know the basics of HTML. If not, don't worry, we are going to teach you these things in next 5 days series, right? So today is day 1, day 2 CSS, and same as 3, 4. So let's say if we talk about the JavaScript. So nowadays, I hope you heard the word that is Angular. Angular is there. So in Angular, we have Angular JS and Angular CLI. So Angular JS is a Google library and Angular CLI is a Google's framework. With the help of this framework, you can create a website, right? But make sure before starting this, you have basics knowledge of this tools, means this technologies, right? So what is next? So next is, let's say, React.js is also there. So React.js is powered by or developed by the Facebook, right? And Vue is Laravel. Okay. So let's get started for today's topic, that is a HTML introduction. I hope the introduction was good. You get the basics idea before starting the other tools, right? Good sir, please be slow rather than fast. Yes, we have to cover lots of topic, right? So be with me, catch me my speed, right? So let's say if you talk about the CLI stands for command line interface. Okay, so let's say if you talk about the HTML introduction, right? I hope you know the full form of HTML. It's hypertext markup language, right? So HTML stands for the markup language for creating a web pages, and HTML describes the structure of your web page. Let's say if you want to create a website, then first you have to focus on the structure, right? So you know very well every website having a this kind of layout. Let's say I know we are using a different tools for creating a mockup, right? So Adobe XD is good platform. Let's say if you want to create a good mockup, then let's say you can open the Adobe XD. Okay. So here you can design your website layout. Let's say this is my web layout. You can select the size, right? The standard resolution is 1920 and 1018 pixels, right? You can also design your application for iOS, Android, or iPhone, or maybe iPad, right? So if I click on this, you will get a lots of tools, right? So you can design your prototype, you can do some navigation. Let's say if you want to create a website, you can define the layout and many more things, right? But let's say if we talk about the paint, right? So let's say the basic layout of the every website will be like this. The first will be a header, the second will be a menu, right? And maybe some website having a sidebars, maybe in left or maybe in right, I'm not sure, but most of the case sidebar will be in a right hand side of screen, and the last one will be a footer. You know the basics of this layout, right? So this is called as a header. This one is a menu bar, we can say it's a navigation bar, right? And then this one will be your content area. Here you can put any content or maybe some images over here, right? And this one will be a sidebar, and then last one will be a footer. Okay, and maybe your landing page. See, if I open my website again, you can see this is my landing page. So landing page having all the details in the first screen. Let's say if you open this website, here you can see we have some sliders over here, right? So these are the sliders. Then you can see the again other enough information. Then this is a layout. You can see the various services, then the portfolio, then the counters, then the others information and industry that we saw, right? So this is called as a landing page. So in every website, a landing page will be a different. So landing page will contains all the information of your company. Why? Because maybe a user will not visit your other pages, right? So that we have to put all the information on your home page. That is the most important thing, right? So let's say if you open the other pages, let's say if you open the Flutter, Android, or iOS, so remaining pages structure will be remain same. So you can see here, this is a header part, this is a menu, right? Menu and header, and this one is your content area, this one is a sidebar. Okay, so the rest of part will having some contents. And if you open another page, that is Android app development, so again it's the same, the content is changed, right? So this is a basic layout almost in every website, a home page, about us, and contact us, or maybe gallery having a different layout, and the rest of pages contains a same structure, right? I hope you know very well about this. Yes or no, guys? Okay. So now I hope you have a better idea for the layout, right? So we can define a layout like this, or maybe it's up to you. So you can design your layout maybe in Paint, maybe in various mock-up designing tools that you can search on the Google. Let's say if I search in Google, hey Google, let's say web design mockup, right? So you will also get a PSD tools, or you can also search for the mockup tools, right? So if you search, you will get lots of website again. We can say it's a wireframe prototyping, right? So here you can see we have different tools, right? And they are providing these tools maybe for 30 days. There will be a free, and then they are charging something. So you can see this layouts, right? So let's say if we talk about the website designing services, let's say if you have some requirement to create a website. So first of all, we have to do analysis, requirement analysis, we can say. And then first we have to design the prototype, right? Prototype means your structure, your website structure, right? And then we will design this layout. Once it is finalized, then we will design the layout in HTML, CSS, JS, and Bootstrap. Okay. Once it is ready, then we will forward this designing to development team. And the development team will be maybe in the PHP, in ASP, in JSP, or maybe Node, Python, etc. Right? So we have to communicate to them, and we have to provide all the information to our development team, and they will design your website as per the client's requirement. So first will be your requirement understanding. On basis of requirement understanding, you have to design the prototype. Once your prototype is finalized, then you can design your layout in the HTML, CSS, JS, and Bootstrap. And then we will forward this layout to our development team, and this team will design and develop the website, and this team will be forwarded the layout to the QA, that is a quality and assurance, right? So once it is ready, you will get money from the client. So it's very lengthy process, right? It's not easy, but yes, we have to be with all the departments, right? Okay, I hope the idea is clear about the Bootstrap, or not Bootstrap, the process of the web designing. So web designing is not easy, not tough, but yes, we have to make sure the client requirement understanding, and we have to work with the different teams in the company. Okay, I'm waiting for your comment. Yes or no, you can write in the chat section. Okay. Okay. So let's say if we talk about the HTML. Okay. So I'm waiting for your comments, guys. Okay. So let's say HTML describes the structure of your web page, and HTML consists of a series of elements, and HTML elements tell the browser how to display the content. And HTML elements are represented by the tags, and we can create a static website by HTML only, right? So let's say if you want to create a dynamic website, then you have to focus on the server-side technology. So we can say HTML is a client-side technology. So client-side technology means your HTML, your JavaScript, your Bootstrap, your jQuery, and AngularJS, right? So this is a basic structure of HTML document. Okay. So if we talk about the document, then first of all, you have to specify, hey page, your document type will be a HTML, right? Then you can start your HTML tag, your head tag. Now head tag consists of your SEO based content. Let's say if you want to do SEO of your website, then we have to focus on the meta description, meta keywords, and the title tag, right? Inside the head tag, we can add the reference of JavaScript or maybe CSS, right? And the body part will consist your all the HTML tags such as H1, B, italic, and many more tags are there, right? And then we have to close this body tag. Okay. So let's say these are the description for each tag, as I given the description previously. So let's say the HTML head, title, body, h1 and p tag. So you have to focus on this structure. So whenever you are creating a website, maybe HTML page, you have to focus on this controls tags. Okay, so you can see this is the basic layout. The HTML tag is opening tag, then HTML tag is a closing tag. So here you can see we have a head tag. So head tag consists title, which will display on your top of the website, and also it is very helpful if you want to do a SEO, right? So nowadays SEO guys also started learning the basic of HTML, because let's say whenever you are creating a website, see, anybody can create a website, but you have to focus on the SEO friendly. Means whenever you are creating a website, make sure your website is SEO friendly. Now what is SEO? That will be a next question for you. So SEO stands for search engine optimization, right? I will give a demonstration for that, how to define various SEO related stuffs in your website. Okay, so let's say, I hope you know the basic structure. Don't worry, I'm going to do practical in maybe in next couple of minutes. Okay, so the doc type declaration, right? So the doc type declaration is very important, because we have to inform our page or our browser, hey browser, this web page contains a HTML data, right? So HTML data will render into browser, right? And HTML is not a case sensitive. Make sure if you are working in programming technologies, right, such as a C, C++, Java, or maybe another technologies, so HTML is not a case sensitive. You can write in uppercase or maybe in lowercase, right? And the doc type is case sensitive. So you have to focus on this doc type. Okay. So let's talk about the HTML version. So we have different HTML versions. HTML, that is the first version. HTML, HTML2, 3, 4, and you know very well, nowadays we have HTML5. And maybe upcoming version is HTML6. I know you know very well. After 5, there will be a 6 version. So maybe they are going to release soon, right? I'm not sure about the date, but yes, you will get this in maybe in 1 year. Okay. So let's talk about the editor. If I want to create a web page, if I want to create a website, so there will be a editor. So the editor is most important tool that you have to select wisely, right? Because if you have good tool, then you will get lots of suggestion from the tool itself. Let's say when I was in college, at that time I have started learning in Notepad, then Notepad++, then Sublime, and Visual Studio Code, right? I want to know which one is your favorite editor. You can write in the chat section. So my favorite editor is Visual Studio Code, right? So I hope you are using VS Code or maybe Sublime. I'm waiting for your comment, guys. Okay. So let's say if we talk about the editors, so editor, you can use any editor. It's not required that you will use the VS Code, right? And most of the people are also using a Dreamweaver, because it's very easy. But yes, it's very bulky size, and sometimes it will also hang your system. So I hate Dreamweaver, right? It's my personal choice. Sorry if you feel bad, but I'm not using any Adobe products, right? Adobe XD is free, right? And we have license for the softwares. So I'm using editors, because in editor you will get lots of new features such as extensions. Okay. So let's say if we talk about the how to create a web page in your HTML. So let's say if we talk about, then first open the Notepad, write some code, save as .html or maybe htm, and then you can open your page in your browser. Okay, don't worry, I will give you a demonstration for this, right? And then we have various elements. Let's say p tag, h1, h2, h6, right? hr tag. Don't worry, let me give you a demonstration first for the first coding part. Okay, so let's say if we talk about the editor, simply just open the browser. I hope everything is going good. So let's say, yeah, I can see your comments. Most of the people are using the Sublime. I actually hate the Sublime. I love the VS Code. Yeah, but you can use the Sublime if you are familiar with the Sublime very well. But see, I'm working on different technologies such as a Node, Angular, React, Laravel, or many things are there, right? So let's say VS Code is a editor. You can download this, which is also available for the Windows, Mac, Linux, right? And one more thing, let's say we have extensions. So with the help of extension, you will get so many suggestions and many more things are there, right? So let's say Sublime. Yes, you can download the Sublime if you are familiar with the Sublime. You can download the Sublime. You can go with the Notepad plus, right? So many tools are there. You can simply download this and start doing code. See what we need actually output. If you are using any editor, it's okay, but at least we need a perfect output. So let's say if we talk about the Notepad. So we have inbuilt tools, that is the Notepad. We have to first open the HTML tag, then we have to close the HTML tag. I know here I'm not specifying any doc tag, but it's okay. So that next is head tag. So head tag, don't worry, I'm giving a demo for that. This will be your head tag, and use the proper formatting. Whenever you are doing a development, make sure you are using a proper tabbing. So at least you can easily get the idea where is my code, right? So this is your HTML tag. This one is a head, and this one is your body, right? So let's say if I want to write some code over here, content. So welcome to HTML, right? So if I save this page, so you can select the desktop or maybe any drive. So let's say demo.html. Make sure the extension will be a demo.html. Demo means your file name and HTML extension. So if I click on this save, my file is successfully saved with .html extension, right? So let's say if I open this demo.html, if it is not showing the Google Chrome browser or maybe different browser, you can open with Google Chrome or Firefox, Microsoft Edge, and Internet Explorer, right? Which one is your favorite browser? I love Google Chrome. And what about you? Firefox? Yeah, Internet Explorer, right? So here you can see my output is there. This is my welcome to HTML, right? So let's say if you want to add some more tags, then simply you can write your tags over here, right? But let's say this is not good editor. I need a colors. I need some suggestions. So what we can do, just open the D drive or maybe your Visual Studio Code editor, right? So simply, this is my Node.js project. So close this. Actually, I'm working on Node.js and Angular project right now. So simply close this. Okay. So here, just go to your file. Just click on the open folder. And in D drive, you can create a web series. Okay, WebS. Just click on the select folder. And here, you can see my folder is created successfully, right? But my folder is totally blank. So what we have to do, we have to click on the new file, and here you will get the option, name it demo.html, right? So here you can see my file is created successfully. It's very easy. So here you can create a file, you can write the code, you can manage multiple files over here. And let's say if you want to install some extensions, let's say I want to add some extensions. So simply you can click on this. You can see in my computer, Dart, Flutter, Font Awesome, HTML snippets, live server, open in browser. So these are the tool which is already installed, right? And these are the recommended tools. If you want to install, then you can simply click on the install. And let's say if you are new in HTML, or if you are lazy like me, so you can install a various HTML, CSS support, right? So let's say if I click on this, so here you can see almost 34 lakh people had downloaded this tool, and you can click on the install. It will start installing. Okay, so once it is done, just close this, and you can start writing your code over here. Okay, so let's say the first tag you know very well, that will be a HTML. So you can see HTML started and automatically it closed, right? So I hope the font is visible. Okay, so next will be a head, then this will be your body. So this is your basic structure. You can increase the font size, you can change the color themes from this tools. We have a preference and we have color theme, right? So you can change this. Okay, so let's say if we talk about the next, so let's say if I want to run this, then H1 Akash Odia, right? So now let's say if I want to open this file, so no need to go to in your div drive and you have to click on this. Simply you can right click and open with live server and open in default browser, right? So if you are not getting this kind of option, so first make sure you have installed the various extensions. So you can see the live server extension is there, and the one other is, let's say, open in browser, right? So let's say it's very easy for me. It is a very fast process. Simply click on the open in default browser. So you can see my output is ready, right? Okay, so what is next? So next, let me give a demonstration for the various tag. I know these are the basic tags. So first I will give you an introduction in the PPT, and then I will cover this tags practical in my next session, means upcoming minutes, a couple of minutes, after the couple of minutes. Okay, so here you can see we have elements. So element consists start tag and end tag. So let's say if you want to start a particular tag, then we have to open this brackets, right? And we have to enter this tag name inside this brackets, and then there will be a closing tag, right? So some of the elements are that is a singular elements, and some of the elements are closing elements. For an example, BR is a singular tag, HR is a singular tag, right? So if we talk about the heading, if I want to print something on the screen, then the first element is H1, right? So H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6, right? So if you write this tag, you will get output like this. So this is heading 1, this is heading 2. You can see the different font size and the alignments, right? So I hope it's very easy and you are getting this point. Okay, so what is next? So next is HR tag. So HR tag is used for the horizontal line, right? So let's say if I want to print some horizontal line in my screen, then we can use a horizontal or maybe HR tag, right? So you can see this is my heading tag, this is my simple content, and here you can see it's a HR. So you can also specify the size, you can define the colors, and you can use multiple HR tag in your web page. Okay, I hope you are getting this point and everything is going good. Yes or no, guys? Are you enjoying or feeling bored? Okay, I know I'm a little bit fast because we have to cover so many things in 1 hour, right? Okay, so let's say if we talk about the paragraph, so we have p tag. So with the help of p tag, we can print the paragraph like this, right? Okay, then br tag. Br tag is used for the line break. Let's say if I want to print something on my new line, so you can see this is my p tag having a 2 br tags. So this is then br, paragraph, then br, and with a line break, you can see. So the output will be this is a new line, paragraph, a new line with line breaks. Okay, so let's say you can see the output, right? I know it's very easy, so that's why I'm not doing any practical, but don't worry, in a next couple of minutes I will give you a demonstration for the same. So the formatting, for the formatting tags, we have bold tag. Let's say if you want to do a bold, then you can simply use the B tag, I tag simply for the italic text, then the small. So you can see the output, it's a very small compared to the other text, right? So we have a small tag. You can use this element to display your text in a smaller size. Then mark. Sometime we have to highlight a particular text in our website. So for that, you can use the mark tag, right? So I hope in textbooks you are also doing highlight, right? Maybe if it is important, then you are doing a highlight with the highlighters, right? I'm doing these things in my school life, right? So let's say if you want to display a particular highlight in your website, then you can simply write the mark tag. Okay. So DEL, this tag, can you guess this? Can you guess this? ये कहाँ पे देखा है आपने? Have you seen this tag or have you seen this kind of output in any website? Please write in the chat section, yes or no. Then I will give you a live demonstration for that. I'm waiting for your comment. Okay, so let's say if you open a particular website of e-commerce, right? So in e-commerce, you have a different offer price or actual price. So actual price contains this kind of highlights, right? So I hope in Amazon, in Flipkart, or maybe in various sites, right? So let's say if we talk about the next tag, that is a sub 26th January, right? So TH will be a subscripted text. So for that, you can use SUP, right? So we have SUP, and same thing, if you talk about the H2O, then we have a subscripted, right? SUP and SUB. So there is a simple difference between sub and sub, you know very well, right? So quotation, let's say if you want to highlight a particular quote like this, you can use the Q tag. So Q tag will display a quote between your start and ending tag. Okay. So now if we talk about the title attribute, so let's say the title attribute is very important. If you are creating a website and website having SEO based layouts, right? So let's say if I mouse over this on the H1, you can see we are getting this kind of tooltip that is a hello world. Okay. So what is next? So let me give you a demonstration. I will give a demonstration for this kind of tools, but make sure this will be very fast because we have to cover all the topics. Okay. So H1, H2, I hope you know the very well this H1, H2 and everything, right? So let's say if we talk about the bold, italic, let's say this is bold, I am bold, then italic, let's say bold है, then italic, then any other tools. चलिए कौन कौन से tools देखें? Rewind me. Bold, italic, then underline, I forgot. Then what is next? Sub, then sub, then mark. These are the very basic tool I know very well, but it is also important. Then BR tag, then HR tag, right? And any other tools, guys, for formatting. Okay, so let's say if I write something over here, I am bold and I am italic. Okay, then I am underline and I am, let's say 26 January, right? And H, then 2 O, it's done. And then I am Akash Puriya. And then new line, and then underline, new line or new line again. It's horizontal line actually. So if I save this, if I refresh this, you can see I am bold, I am italic, I am underlined, 26 January, H2, I am Akash Padiyar. And this is a new line because here we have used the BR tag, and this is our horizontal ruler, and here this is a new line, right? So we have covered all the basic topics, basic tags in 10 minutes, right? I hope you are ready to learn the other topics. Okay. Okay. So let's say if we talk about the next topic. Okay. So let's say the title. Yeah, title is very easy. Okay. So let's say if we talk about the HTML links, I want to, I can see there is a movable text. Kaise aata hai? Let's say movable text in the sense it's a marquee, right? So marquee, I will give you a demonstration for this. Okay, don't worry. So let's say HTML links. So for HTML links, what we have to do? Let's say I want to create a separate pages, right? And make sure each page is interlinked with each other, right? For that, what we can do? So let's say you can simply write this h1, sorry, h1 or maybe ahref, a hypertext reference, right? So let's say, let me create a second page. So just click on the page 1.html, right? So I want to create a second page. So for that, you can write hey page 2.html, right? So let's say here I will write simple page 1. Let's say this is a page 1. I know you know the basics of HTML. So I know we have to write this HTML, then body, right? So it's okay. In some cases, we can skip this. It's okay. It's done. This is my page 1. Let's copy this page 1 and paste it over here, right? So this will be my page 2. Okay. So now what is next? So next is, let's say, I want to navigate from page 1 to page 2 and page 2 to page 1, vice versa, right? So here we can write the ahref, right? So anchor tag with hypertext reference. So let's say I am, or we can write page 1, right? So simply here you can specify the page 2.html. Sorry, this will be a page 2, not page 1. Okay, so it's done. And same, just copy paste this code and paste it here, page 1. So here what we have to do, we have to simply change the 2 with 1 and page 1. So it's done, right? So this is a page 1 and page 2. So if I refresh this page, not this one, actually, we have to run this page 1. So right click, open with default browser. So here you can see we have page 1. If I click on the page 2, so it will navigate to page 2. And we can see this message is page 1, right? So let's say without closing a particular page, I want to open a page 1 in a new tab. So for that, we have some attributes, right? For that, we have some attributes. The attributes are, for an example, blank. So the underscore blank is a target, right? So target having a default attribute that is a self, it will open in a self, right? So blank is a target attribute, a self, a parent, and top, right? So don't worry, we will discuss about the blank only because it's very useful, right? So let's say if I want to navigate on page 2 without closing this particular page, so what we can do, we can specify, hey page, the target will be blank. So you have to open this page in a different window, right? So if I refresh this page, that is a page 1, right? So navigate to your page and refresh this by refreshing this. And if I click on the page 2, you can see my page is there. Page 1 is still open, and page 2 you can see the output, right? Okay. So let's say if you want to open a particular website, let's say ahref, I want to open Google. So you can simply write Google. So Google is a text, right? You can write any text over here. You can also put images, right, between this anchor tag. I will give a demonstration for that. Don't worry. So let's say whenever you want to specify link, let me give you a demonstration. I know you are familiar with the www.google.com, right? But let me check the output. If I refresh, say this is a refresh button, right? So if you click on the Google, see your file is not found. Why? Because here you can see it will concatenate with your current page. So let's say if you want to navigate on particular website, what we have to do, we have to write http colon // no need to specify www in some cases, right? So this will be an actual web address. So hey hypertext protocol, please go to google.com. So whenever you are whenever you are clicking on the button or maybe hyperlink, right? So this page, if I click refresh, so you can see we have different colors. Why? Because we have previously clicked on this link, so the color is changed. If I click on the Google, so it will redirect on the Google, right? You can specify any website name over here, right? If I switch to back, see, you can see the color is changed, right? Okay, so I think so we have covered a basic tags including the h1, h2 and many more, right? So you can see this is a target, right? Now let's talk about the images. Images is very important element, right? Because without images your website not looks good, right? So let's say if you want to add images in your website, so we have one more tag, that is img, right? In img tag we have to specify a source. Source means your location from where you have to load the images. So either you can specify the internet URL or you can specify a URL from your local computer, right? But let's say there will be some conflict. Let's say your image is in D drive, so you are specifying a URL like D drive colon blah blah blah, right? So I never suggest do like this. So what we can do, simply let's say if you have some web images in your computer, let's say in my pictures we have different images. So this is my AT logo and this one is my photograph, right? So simply copy this, just go to your D drive and inside the folder where is web series. Okay, so simply create one new folder and name it images. So this is a best idea, right? Don't provide your full URL. So simply create one new folder, name it images and copy paste your images over here. So let's say if you are loading any images in your website, right? So if you are loading your images in your website, make sure you have a knowledge for your extension. So you can see we have two different images. A first image having a JPG extension and second image having a PNG extension. So extension is very important. Let's say if your extension is not visible in your computer, so you can click on the view and here we have option for file name extension. You can hide this, you will get this. But let's say if you are working in Windows 7 or Windows 8, maybe that option is not there. So we have a second method. Simply right click on this in the property, right? So let's say you can see this is PNG extension. Okay. Okay. So let's say just click on the OK and then just go to your project again. You will get this folder having two images and you can also drag and drop your images over here. Let's say if I give you demo for that, so open the picture folder and simply just drag and drop inside the images, right? It's done. Okay. So what is next? Next is, let's say I want to load my image over here, right? So what we can do, we can write hey image, I mean it's a img, right? src and then press enter. So let's say we have to provide the source over here. If you type a control space in your keyboard, if you press that, so you will get a suggestion like this. So simply click on the enter. So you will get more suggestion. Which image you want to load? 9 JPG, 80, or maybe 82, right? So I will select 80.png and then just close this tag. So you can see this is a singular tag, right? So here if I talk about the BR and HR, you can also close this tag like this, right? Okay. So we also have to focus on HTML standards. Let's say once your website is ready, you can also check W3C HTML validator, right? According to this website, makes your website having a proper HTML layout, right? So you can upload your files. Let's say if we upload our files, which is in D drive, in web series, let's say if I talk about the demo, so if I click on the check, you can see, right? So it's also give you a suggestion warning: the character encoding was not declared, doc type is not declared, your head tag missing a instance of child element because हमने title tag नहीं लिखा है. I forgot to specify the title tag. So make sure if you are building a professional website, make sure your website doesn't contains this type of problems, right? Okay. So let's say we are switching back to our images again. Okay. So this is my img src which contains an image. So let's say if I run my page, that is a page one. If I refresh this, you can see this is my logo. My logo looks blur, right? Because the size is very small. And let's say if you want to specify the size, right? If you want to specify a size, you can specify the attributes like width, height. So just go to here. We can specify the border and many more things are there, but we have to cover this in CSS. So don't worry. So width will be a 100 pixels. So if I save this, you can see this is 100 pixels. So I think so. Logo looks good, right? So let's say if I copy this code, paste it here, and 82.png, right? So simply we have to change the file name, and if I refresh this, you can see this is my logo too, right? We can also specify the properties like align, right? Align. I know this is not good practice right now, because for that actually we will use the CSS. Don't worry for that. Okay, so let's say the most important property is for the SEO guys, that is I am Akash Techno Labs. So whenever you are creating website, whenever you are loading images in your website, make sure you will specify the title. And let me give a demo for that. Title, I know you can see the I am Akash Techno Lab. If I mouse over here, so you can see it doesn't display the title. Let's say I'm doing some mistake over here. I know PNG one is not extension, but let's say if I refresh this page, you can see. For an example, let's say I know alt tag is there, right? Okay. So for that, let's say if I search on the Google, let's say if you search on the Google, Akash Padia, right? So you will get lots of images from the Google. You can see this is my old pictures, right? So here you can see various photographs are there. Why? Because I have done SEO in my website, right? So here you can see this is akashpadia.wordpress.com. This is akash.com, akashtechnolabs.com. So if you open my website and you can check in website, we have mentioned this title and alt tag, right? So title and alt tag is very important for the SEO, right? If we talk about the SEO, search engine optimization, let's say if I search on the Google HTML training, I know HTML training is you can see in Ahmedabad HTML course. So there are lots of websites are there. You can see the sulekha.com. So Sulekha is a search engine portal, right? So here we'll get lots of training institute. But let's say if you search about the cake shop in Ahmedabad, so again you will get lots of website. That is a Just Dial, the 3-based started.in, FNP. So let's say this is a title tag. You can see if I click on the particular website, so here you can see we have a website. So if I right click on this, if I click on the inspect, so with the help of inspect element, you will get to know about the elements. So let's say this is my IMG. You can see this is a class. The alt is alternate text is a red velvet fresh cream cake half cage eggless. You are wondering, this is a very lengthy name, but the name is given for the SEO purpose, right? So you can specify the title and alt tag for the SEO purpose. Let's say if I copy this code and if I search on the Google, right? So you will get a same website that is a FNP, right? So this is the power of HTML tags, title tag, IMG SRC with alt tag, right? So if you click on the particular link, so you can see we are on same website, right? Fresh and petals, this is also same. Just click on this. So if you press view source, so let's say if I click on the page view source, I know it's very lengthy code, right? When I was in college, I was totally blank about the PHP and other technologies. So at that time, almost daily I'm spending 3 hours to read this code, right? I'm not joking. I'm not doing any joke on this, but yes, trust me, daily I'm spending my number of hours to understand this code. At that time, the code was actually very easy, right? Because nowadays they are encrypting their JavaScript code. Okay. So I think so. There are lots of people asking for the feedback link. I think Hiren sir will give you answer in the chat section. Okay. So now let me check the comments. Okay. See, we have just seen the basic information of HTML. I know there are lots of tags are there. Don't worry, I will cover tomorrow with the CSS. Okay. So let's say you can see this is a HTML tag, and yeah, I was talking about the title tag. So there is title tag, title tag. So here you can see this is a title tag having again same content. In description you can see this is your description which contains your content: buy and send a red velvet fresh cake in half kg online with fresh and petals order. So these are the keywords. So we have to mention the title tag, keywords, and various SEO related stuffs inside the head tag, right? So let's say if I come to Google, if I search again this red velvet, so you will get this is your title tag, this is your content, and the description and the keyword is this, right? So I hope you getting my point. I'm talking about the SEO related stuffs. With the HTML you can do the HTML SEO, right? Sorry. So I hope I'm done with the today. I know it's not enough for the day one, but don't worry, we will cover more topics tomorrow with CSS. I know there is a title tag. It's a basic tags are there, but tomorrow we will cover. Please talk about the database connectivity in HTML. It's not possible to connect the database in the HTML. We have to focus on the server side technology, right? So let's say, let me give you a demo for that. Just a second. Not demo, but I can say it's a basic idea. So see, we have two technologies. One is a client side technology. Second one is a server side technology, right? So client side technology never connect a database. Let's say HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery. Sorry for the spelling. I'm very excited for Bootstrap and Angular, then React, Vue. And if you talk about the mobile technology, that is Android, iOS, Flutter. So these are the client-side technology we can say. In client-side technology, you cannot connect database. I know in Android we have SQLite, or iOS we have code data, right? But let's say if you want to render your dynamic code in this technology, we have to depend on the server side technology such as PHP, Java, ASP, Django Python, Flask, Node.js, right? Ruby on Rails, and many more, right? So let's say in this technology, you can connect any databases like MySQL, then Mongo, and many more. Okay. So again, sorry, we cannot connect the database in HTML client side. Okay. So I'm done for the today's session. Okay. So it's hand over to Hiren sir. Hiren sir, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Okay.
So thank you. Thank you very much, Akasha, for the wonderful first day session on the web designing part. So So I would like to thank all the participants for joining the day first. So we'll be meeting tomorrow at the same time, 10 a.m. We'll share the link on the email and the contact number. So we'll meet tomorrow. Thank you for joining today's webinar. Thank you, Akash. Okay. Uh, have a great day to everyone. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you, Akash, sir. Have a great day.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I'm leaving now, sir. Okay.
Okay, sir.